What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cludo Wrapped 2025. Really excited to have you all with us. We have some great content and a few people joining from the customer side and from the Cludo side. What we're really here to do today is take a look back at 2025 and reflect a bit on some of our learnings and give you all a preview into what's coming into 2026 that we're excited about. Let's do a couple quick intros. I am Nick Wassenberg here, and I'm calling in from the States in Minneapolis. And then we have Elsa and Jessica joining, representing both Europe and North America from customer success. So super excited to be with them globally here. And then we have a couple customers coming at us from different parts of the world too. So those will be coming up here just shortly. A little bit of housekeeping, just so everybody's on the same page. We would recommend you use the chat. Some of where the best conversations happen is on the live chat. We'll have our Cludo bot in the chat, as well as other folks from Cludo answering questions or commenting as needed. So feel free to add questions in the comments. We'll also have some time for Q&A. We have a lot of content, but we've taken some time to make sure we can answer some questions here live as well. So if you have questions, put them in the comments and we'll get to them either live or at the end. Without further ado, let's get into it. For looking back to 2025, we did pull some numbers just out of curiosity, really, and try and give us a bit of a reflection. What these figures tell us, I think, is clear for our customers and their website visitors and users. Search is everywhere. Search is extremely powerful, and search is important to each of our customers' web experiences. We feel and we see and we hear played back from our customers that effective searches, effective chats, effective AI summaries really do add up to driving better outcomes. Those outcomes can look like more student applications in a higher ed setting, reduce sport emails, which we talked about on the last webinar, and we'll touch on a little bit this time too. Sometimes it leads to more leads, more purchases, more transactions. Overall, we feel and we see from our customers that it provides a better brand experience. So we're proud of the scale that we've gotten to, and we're extremely fortunate and grateful for the customers that we have that we're walking alongside. I think the scale, global scale in terms of where search has come from is really interesting. And then I couldn't help but have the team add our G2 badges that just show what we're focused on. We are certainly focused on providing great support. We're focused on doing great implementations alongside our customers and our partners, providing ROI, making things usable, and exceeding the requirements that our customers and their website visitors and users have. So these are things that we're obviously proud of and just represent reviews that we get from our customers and the broader market. So really happy about that. I think for today, we want to share some of our successes and share some of what the customers are saying too. And we'll hear from a few directly. 2025 brought some product innovation that we just wanted to take a moment to recap. And so these come from customer conversations. These come from us talking to our customers, understanding what they prioritize. And these learnings the conversations we have with our customers certainly shape how our product evolves and how our support approaches problems and how we collaborate. So we'll expand on a few of these today. Jess and Elsa and even our customer guests will expand on some of these. I would say if any of these are new to you or if you need a deeper dive, please do reach out to your customer success manager. If you're from the partner ecosystem, reach out to the sales team or myself, and we can give you a deeper dive on what some of these look like. For today, though, we're going to focus in really two areas. Number one, we're going to look at some of how search is really fueling even more innovative digital experiences. So power and innovation in terms of digital experiences, and we'll hear from a customer that's going through that. And then we'll also look at kind of our view of the evolution of AI search. Obviously, AI is everywhere, and certainly within our product and within how we help our customers. So we want to do a little bit of a deep dive in there on that topic. Look at some real life examples of AI solving real business problems, getting beyond the buzzwords, and then give you a glimpse of what the future holds for us too. So that's what we'll cover in focus today, and then we'll have some customer content as well. Enough said for me. Let's kick it over to Elsa. Sorry. One important thing before we jump to Elsa. Cludo had its 10th birthday this year as a company. We've been around not quite as long as the old-timey Old West, Wild West photo would make you believe, but we have been around 10 years. Fortunate to have lots and lots of customers that have been with us for a long, long time. And we've added new customers and new partners this year as well. So we're in growth mode. We're continuing to build on the momentum that we have, and we're able to celebrate our 10th birthday this year. So, okay, now we can transition to kick it over to Elsa. Let's look through some of what's happening on the experience side and get a glimpse of how our customers are taking advantage of it. Elsa.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. And hi to everyone from Copenhagen from my side as well. And yeah, so as Nick said, I want to start talking about how to create powerful digital experiences for your users. And so the past year, we really focused on making these experiences alongside your search feel smooth, quick to build, and strong on the visual side. So we brought together four of features that many of you rely on quite a bit. So we have the AI summary, AI chat, intelligent 404, and the feedback module. So all these four features will now share a single approach. So without all the code work that you needed before, now in my Cludo, you can build the feature you want, you can test it right there, and then publish it without waiting for any additional help. And I think the best place to start off with here is with a feature that's climbed faster than anything else in 2025, which is our AI summary. And so our AI summary has quickly become the feature that our customers keep asking for, because users now are used to getting answers and overviews fast, and we wanted to, of course, accommodate to that. So the AI summary provides an immediate answer, as you can see here, right inside the results page, grounded in your own content. And before, the AI summary, and until now, the AI summary has required code changes for any kind of styling changes, etc. And so I'm happy to say that we're currently in the final stages of adding it to the experience builder, where you don't have to worry about making all these extra changes with code. So as you can see here on the screen, the AI summary will live inside the experience builder, and in here you can choose where it appears on your website. You can shape the visual design, write or adjust the prompt that you have for the AI, and all in there you can preview the result before publishing. And there's no code needed at any of these stages. You can see here it's very, very quick and easy and kind of intuitive to make, and make the AI summary also look and feel like your brand. So it'll give you control over both the look and the behavior of the summary. So that's going to be our newest addition to the experience builder, but I want to also talk a little about the other features we've already made simple to create as well. So we have the intelligent 404, which is the feature that saves a visitor from giving up when they land on a wrong page that might not exist anymore. So on the 404, you're able to provide useful links and information for the user to continue their journey on your website. And people always like the idea of helping users recover from a dead end, but once again, it required additional coding to style the page to your liking overall, and the styling used to be quite limited. So that's why we moved it also to the experience builder. And in a similar way as we just saw for the AI summary, you can design the page the same way you would with any other element. So you pick the content you want to show, the questions you want to ask, or the writing that you want to have on there, as well as the links you want to showcase. Then you can preview how it reacts and publish it straight from there. So no development queue, no files to edit, and it lets you fix dead ends the moment you see them on your website. And then lastly, I want to talk a little about our feedback module. So this is a feature that we launched this summer, which you can see here on the screen from our own help center down there with the little thumbs up and thumbs down icon. So the idea for the feedback module came straight from our customer conversations that we've had with you guys. So what we heard is that if you can't see where visitors struggle, you end up guessing a lot, and I know that a lot of our customers were struggling with knowing if visitors are finding what they need and if they are producing the right content for their visitors. So this is what we really wanted to tackle with the feedback module, and we also added it to our experience builder. So what the feedback module does is that it gives visitors a quick way to say what worked for them and kind of what didn't. Did they find the content they wanted on the page? Were the search results correct? This is all up to you to decide once again when you're building the experience. So they can tap the thumbs up, thumbs down anywhere on your site, and they can write free comments when they want to explain something further. And the setup, once again, super easy. And once it's active, you get a steady flow of insight that helps you improve the experiences that you create. So for the feedback modules analytics, you get all of them straight to your My Cludo dashboard as you would with any other analytics, making it also super simple to go through. Yeah. Yeah, with the experience builder and moving these features there, also where the AI chat lives, by the way, we're just not showcasing it here, but you set it up in the same way as any of these other features as well. We really wanted to just simplify things for you by moving all of these in the experience builder so that you can really guide visitors in the easiest way possible and really make these features look and feel like your organization and your brand. And I guess with that said, I'm gonna give the ball back over to Nick so that we can get to hear from actual customers or from our actual customer on kind of creating a great user experience and a great search experience for users.
Excellent. Thank you, Elsa. I'll have Haley behind the scenes queue up bringing Michael onto the stage. But by way of introduction, Michael is a Cludo award-winning customer of ours that we love to collaborate with. He works at the Association of British Pharmaceutical Industry, ABPI. Been a customer since 2020. Welcome, Michael. Thank you so much for being with us. Look forward to chatting with you. How are you doing?
Great, Nick. Thank you for having me here. We're pleased to
Great.
be here and share my experience with the teams.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it. For starters, you made some changes with your search experience this year, and that's what we wanted to try and drill into, building a little bit on what Elsa was describing. Can you just walk us through like what that decision looked like, what drove your decision making to change things up there at ABPI?
I suppose it's really about this building a branded search experience. That's probably key to our approach. I mean, obviously everyone knows Jakob Nielsen, the great usability expert. And about 10 years ago, he was telling people to reduce the reliance on search and to focus on navigability. And at that time, he was absolutely right, but so much has changed now. And now we look at the rise of AI and conversational search query patterns. The shift for improved search and experience is now there. What we try to do at ABPI is we put people first. Both our corporate site and our school site are built around accessibility and clarity. We're very proud to hold a PIF-TIC accreditation, which demonstrates our commitment to patient-centered and inclusive design. So, but we don't run monetized websites. We don't have any financial incentive for people to visit us. Our objective is to reduce the barrier to scientific information for policymakers, teachers, students, and the public. But what's interesting is that if users choose to visit us, we feel very privileged and we want to make their experience exceptional. So what we've been looking at is the importance of a search experience which fully integrates with the look, feel, and brand experience of our website. So that's why we want to make sure that search was integrated, accessible, and genuinely helpful, not just an afterthought. And that's we chose to use Cludo to do that for us.
Yeah, great. It's interesting how that behavior changes, and we showed a little bit of a glimpse of the experience from the user side. Obviously, behavior is changing. Your brand is continuing to evolve. You have goals around kind of like that visitor engagement. What have you learned just looking at either analytics or tracking user behavior or understanding what your users are doing? Any learnings to share? And if so, how did that change and that kind of update play into what's changed?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm being very honest here. I mean, the website for our business is not the key part of our business. What we do is we talk to government, we go to Number 10, we talk to the NHS, who are the key voice in the UK. Uh, so that face-to-face stuff happens really well. And it used to be the website's a bit of an afterthought. Things got put on there, and it got seen or not seen or picked up. With AI coming in, people have suddenly realized there's a difference, and we're now looking more at the analytics of what is happening to our content. So now, eventually, people are now saying, well, when people come to the website, what do they look at, and how long do they stay? We're now looking at our corporate website. People stay for 2 minutes, and that's actually quite good. But for our um, educational schools material, they stay for 4 minutes. And the question that people are asking is, if there's only two people working on that website and the entire business working on this corporate side, why are they so successful? And it's really because we've been looking at some really key things, which is this audience is for children 16 and below. And so we need to make sure the language is as simple and as plain as possible. That really helps it perform well in search engines and in LLMs. For example, Perplexity indexes our content within 5 hours. And all of that is with the website structure and the content that is found and the way that it's laid out and the way that people engage with it is very trusted. It's a high domain ranking. And these things help improve our approach. I mean, what's important for us is that for this school site, is that we are now seeing that the inside Cludo is that the reach of our website with this very plain English and good structure is global. We have people or students coming visit our website from around the world. We have people from Latvia to the Cayman Islands. And so what we're finding is that if the information is really well laid out and it's clear and well structured, then it travels.
Yeah, makes sense. It's amazing how you talked a little bit about the interplay of LLMs like Perplexity and others, and some of the patterns that you're seeing in terms of scope. What are some of the things that the kind of lessons that you might apply going forward? Lessons you've learned from this process, like pulling out some of the data and making observations like that. Any lessons learned that you'd share?
Uh, I think again, I look after websites, and everyone is saying to me, websites will be dead because of AI, and I've realised that's actually not the case. When it is searching for content and it's pulling content for its answers, it needs to have high quality resources, good websites, and so website is now more important for a business than before, and the business is now starting to realise that importance. So search really needs to be designed. I think what's happened is that again with Google is one shift. Now with AI, LLMs, it's shaping expectations. People want precision, they want structure, they want context, not just a simple results list. um, I think as well is that when you have the insights from the analytics, for example, when someone does a search in Cludo, I can see what it is they search for. I don't have to guess. I can see what they searched for and what they matched. And if, for example, there isn't a match, I can intervene and make that match. And that kind of insight means I don't lose customers, I don't lose engagement. So I serve the content exactly what they were after, even though they didn't know that. I think that's really quite important to make sure that people don't have that dead end. And probably finally, accessibility and search are really two parts of the same whole. Um, if you make the website clear and accessible for people, it will be accessible to search engines. If it's really clear and well laid out, when you use Cludo to do that searching internally, it really does help. When it doesn't match, you can still use Cludo to do the fine tweaking. And I think that's really important to have that ability to do that as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's good insights, and I think something we can build on. I guess the next logical question is, we're in the middle of December. We're looking into 2026. What's coming up for you? What improvements are you planning? What are you thinking about? Kind of, how do you think about the year to come?
I think I've made one major change, which is I've been in this business now for 8 years at the ABPI, and when I came here, I said we need to stop using PDFs for all our content because it's a real um, choke point. Our content is so good, it should be as HTML so people can see that content. After 7-8 years, have now decided to listen to me. They've now taken the content, I've now put it into HTML, and that's really boosted how much content we have. It's fresh and how much it's seen inside those AIs. That has got their imagination, and now they're really coming to life to what AI and search means for the business. And I think what people are saying to me is that when we look at search in Google and they look at the top bar, they see that Google AI oversights, and they're reporting back to me that they often use that quite a lot. And so what I've said to the team is that, would you like us to do that for our website? Because we can do that inside Cludo, and maybe using the AI generated summaries. Now, I know it's been there for quite a while, but I need to get the business to buy into it. And now I think the moment is right for people to say, okay, let's do the AI content and see what we can do with that. So that's going to be a major thing for us next year, is to take one step forward and do that. If that's successful, because there's no major cost to it, because all the building's been done before in the intelligent builder, is to say, okay, shall we use a chatbot? That's probably going to be end of next year, come to discussion. So, but those are things. But having this ability to use the AI summaries is probably my first major win for next year.
Yeah, great. We've had a few customers that have done some studies on the impact of that too, and we shared one in the last webinar, and we're going to continue to build those. I think it's super fascinating, the behavioral changes that are happening already and that people want to gravitate towards on your website and others too. So Michael, this is really good. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, so I think we're going to wrap it there, but I really do appreciate you joining and sharing some of your insights. All the best going into 2026, of course. We're here to support you, and thanks again for joining. We're going to jump. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, great. Well, that was awesome. So we heard from Michael. We've got some other content to jump into. The next piece, as we talked about, is the search revolution. So Jess, let's take it to the next step. Let's go.
Thanks, Nick. So now we're going to shift focus to the foundation underneath all of these experiences. The next part, I'm going to cover how search learned to think. So after adding our AI features this year, we needed to make a big update to how our search understands and interprets language, which brings us to AI search, as some of you might know, formerly hybrid search. So this new search took user behavior, which has been changing a lot. I mean, people are switching between keywords and asking full questions in search. And so we needed to change how search was working for people. The classic keyword could not cover that range, while pure semantic search could not provide enough stability for organizations that needed accuracy. Steps in AI search. This search blends the precision of keyword search with the broader understanding of semantic search. It supports exact queries and natural questions at the exact same time. It also gives our AI features a stable foundation, which helps them perform better. This layer sits quietly behind the scenes and supports everything else that I'm going to go on to show you guys. So now that we have this strong base of AI summary, we turn to something that mattered to a lot of you guys. So if AI was going to be a part of your site, a lot of you were saying, okay, we needed to make sure it was easy to trust, that it sounded like your brand, and that it reflected your standards. So we're going to start off with the making sure AI was trustful. Customers wanted, well, you guys wanted visitors to see where the answers came from and understand the source behind every statement. That's where Insight Citations stepped in. Each part of the answer that you see within the summary or chat links out and back to your own content, so visitors can check the source and even look deeper. It turns AI from something mysterious into something that shows its work. Again and again, we heard from you all that you wanted to make AI sound like your brand. So this brings up our next feature, which is custom prompting. This feature actually gives you control over the voice of AI. So it can be formal, it can be warm, educational, or supportive. You actually define that behavior within Experience Builder when you're setting it up. And as you can see from this example, in this one, we asked it, how do I make crawlers work? But you can read it. It sounds a lot like Shrek. So we kind of changed it enough so that it would sound like Shrek was responding in AI summary for people. So you can kind of see how much you can control with this and really make sure it's sounding the way you want. Now, tonal control helps, but some questions require something a bit stronger. And this is where moments where you want to make sure the answer is 100% correct and have a lot of control over that. So that brings us to AI canned responses. This is great in the case of like a high stakes question where you need to make sure it's right every time when someone asks about it. So it actually sets a lot of guardrails in place so that if someone asks about like safety, policy, or maybe like pricing, AI uses this canned response that you set up and have already approved to respond to them and give them the answer that they're looking for. It actually will follow your exact wording that you set up in there as well. So you know you have full control. Our last big change that actually just launched today, as I've heard, is the bridge to the EU servers. So after we kind of like solved like the trust, voice, and how the chat was sounding, and like making sure that like there was some guardrails in there for you guys with that canned responses, a lot of you were still saying you needed to move one major barrier for many public organizations in the EU. So data residency has held many teams back, as we've heard. And so now our EU-hosted AI servers keep all processing inside the EU borders. Nothing leaves the region. So now public organizations, universities, healthcare providers can now use advanced AI without stepping outside their compliance requirements in the EU. Now that I've kind of chatted about all the big changes, I wanted to bring on Jim, who is from Raleigh, North Carolina. So Jim actually enabled on their site AI chat earlier this year to better support the city's website visitors. And I'm super excited to have him here, but just wanted to chat with him to kind of share his experience with enabling one of our new AI features. Hello.
How's it going?
Wonderful.
Good morning.
Good morning. And good afternoon to the people in the EU. So to kick us off, I would just love to hear like why you guys were interested in setting up AI chat, kind of the trends that brought you to that goal of adding that feature to your site.
Sure. So a couple of things are happening in our city and probably every city in the US at least, and probably around the world, which is we are obviously exploring AI as a mechanism to gain insight. We're a service delivery organization. So how can we use AI to better deliver services across the board, right? From efficiency to sharing information, et cetera. And so we were excited to hear about the new capabilities within the Cludo platform. It was natural for us to try and take advantage of that to help deliver better services and better information to what we consider our kind of digital front door to the services we provide.
Love it. As I don't know if you've noticed too, everyone, but like you see their little blurb on the side, you actually laid out in there kind of like how people should use the chat. I would love to kind of you to share why you decided to add in that little bit of context in there.
Yeah, so I think it was kind of covered earlier. We're seeing this trend across the board in kind of user behavior, how they interact with digital tools in general, right? And so I think the folks, when they see a prompt window, they have some expectations. And so we wanted to try and put some guardrails around what those expectations are and what they should expect from the results. And so we tried to guide people based on some testing we did internally on some users and what their expectations were to try and kind of avoid some confusion or some frustration that users might have and really get the benefits from using that prompt window.
Yeah. I guess how have results been?
So they've been really good, to be honest, right? So we've seen, we're seeing between 5% of our search traffic leveraging that kind of feature. So that's one. Two is we are auditing kind of how people are using that. So we're looking at prompts and responses and seeing kind of one, are they getting responses, and two, are those logical responses? Is it obvious that they're getting the information that they need quickly? And we're seeing really good results, not 100% by any stretch, but we think that the old experience of keyword search, getting a list of results, clicking on those results, finding the actual content within that web page that you were looking for, etc. We've been able to streamline that for the folks who have an expectation or desire to make that experience kind of seamless and efficient.
Love it. Well, I'd love to hear what's next.
So there are, right. So one of the things, as I mentioned, we do this auditing from our users, and we look at those responses, and some of the things that we're seeing where we're not hitting 100%, and some opportunities are, one is in local government, we do location-based services. So, when is my trash day is often a question that, or a prompt that we see, when the expectation is that the AI is going to know my context, my address, and be able to do geographic analysis. So that's not a capability. So we're actively working with you and your team around how to better do some pattern matching to help guide people in a different direction there. One. Two is, again, because of the consumerization of generative AI, people are starting to use different languages and prompts. And so trying to figure out, navigate around how do we kind of create a good experience for those folks who are using different languages, et cetera. So that's two. Kind of looking forward, we think the inline summary from standard search, we think that's going to be a different example. So I know you had shared a couple of screenshots. So right now we're supporting both traditional search, right? So our customer base is broad in age, broad in technical capabilities, broad in kind of digital experiences. So we wanted to kind of support both of those options. So our traditional search option, keyword search, again, we're seeing 90 to 95% of our users still using that. We anticipate that number going down over time. And so for those folks, we wanted to start to add that inline AI search results in addition to the standard search results below, in addition to the conversational AI in the bottom corner.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. It's been a great experience so far, so I'm excited to see where you guys go this next year.
Yeah, thanks for including us.
Of course. Bye. Well, thank you all for being here. I'll pass it back to you, Nick.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Jim, for hopping on, and Michael as well. Really interesting to see how they think about the future. It's how we try and align with our customers and think about the future too. So obviously customers are at the heart of everything we do, and we love being able to put them on stage, literally in this context. And we know there's a lot of other really, really compelling and great stories out there from other customers as well. So I think as I reflect a little bit on 2025 and then look ahead to 2026, we wanted to try and put ourselves as really strong partners to people like Michael and Jim and others in terms of ambitious features that are tapping into these behavioral changes. And we're going deeper with that kind of in this next year. The things that we hear from our customers, the commentary like we just heard, is exactly what shapes our roadmap. And there are times when we need to think bigger too. But this is what we're thinking about and how we're applying some of our learnings and some of our customer conversations into 2026, looking ahead. So number one, testing and validating. And what we mean by this is essentially some of the experiences that we just looked at on our customer sites. How do we help our customers experiment with those faster? How do we help our customers validate whether that's worth doing, what the results would look like, and so forth? So putting generative AI experiences much in a mode of validation much faster, test and validate faster, easier, and with our support going forward, so our customers don't fall behind in terms of the experiences that their visitors expect. Obviously, our main focus is always going to be reliability, stability for the hundreds of customers that are using site search today. We need to continue to push on what visitor expectations look like. So look for ways for you all to be able to test and validate new experiences like AI chat, AI summary, and AI mode, and in different and more seamless ways. We also have what we're calling the Cludo Lab for customer experimentation. I know we mentioned that in the last webinar. If people want to hear more about that, certainly reach out to your customer success manager. I know we have partners on the call too. I'd be happy to talk through what that looks like on the partner side as well, but all about testing and validating, all about being able to leverage some of Cludo's technology and experiment with your own web experiences, both on public-facing websites, intranets, and elsewhere. The other piece that the blue piece here is taking what we know our customers already get value from and making those things even better. So leveling up our greatest hits, so to speak. So that means updated banner functionality, which we'll obviously share with you all going forward, ways for us to provide more power within the banner experience, easier to build and more powerful, really. We are making updates. Both Jim and Michael reflected a bit on the analytics that they use out of MyCludo and other sources. We're going to continue to evolve that. We've got some exciting things that we're pushing forward from the analytics side that we'll be sharing. And then speaking of kind of like understanding behaviors and leveraging content through understanding search behaviors, we're launching and we'll continue to share information around what we're calling topics, meaning how can we synthesize some of the keyword groupings, the keyword clusters, the content topics, and then give our users, either on the content side or the technical side, the ability to identify gaps or identify things that are leading to the outcomes that they're trying to drive on their website. So understanding topics, clustering topics together, we feel, and some of the feedback we've gotten is that's a way for our users to get even more value out of the information that they're pulling out of MyCludo. So those are a few examples of taking what's already in the Cludo platform today and making it even leveled up a bit bigger. The other piece, the green piece, is thinking bigger and thinking bolder. I think we know, we heard this today and we hear this from all of our customers that the future is moving fast in experiences and the ability for us to help our customers deliver great digital experiences on their websites and intranets is going to continue to evolve. So we need to think bolder and think bigger. So that means continuing to evolve our MCP server capabilities. If people are interested in that at a deeper level, we can certainly get into it. We have some customers that are already starting to experiment with that. The other piece is AI mode, which is a conversational module that takes what I would call takes AI search to the next level. So we're exploring that, and that's all about leveraging content in a way that is moving in towards an agentic experience, having more of a deeper conversation, so to speak, with generative AI, being able to take actions, being able to cater to specific audience types. So AI mode is another experience layer that we're excited about, and we have customers exploring it with us. So if you're interested in something like that, that takes the module-based experience to the next level, we'd love to talk to you. And the last piece, enterprise AI search or intranet search, is something that we do work with a number of our customers on. I've had some conversations with some of you all already. I think we're going to continue to explore what makes sense there, building on our core competencies of being able to crawl, index, and build engines around content that's really catered to what our customers' content needs are and website experience needs are. Building that into an intranet or internal file structure is something that we're looking at. What needs to be better there? What do we need to build on our roadmap to make that type of application work even better? So those are the three big pillars, I would say, when it comes to looking ahead. There's many other things. We know, as I said, building on the reliability and stability of Cludo is super important too. So tons of backend and kind of DevOps kind of work being done there, which is a great credit to the team. We've made a lot of progress there, but we need to continue to stay focused there. So those are the headlines. I think Haley's running things behind the scenes. If we have questions that we can surface, happy to take those on, and the team can respond. I see someone in the chat did comment that I wore the wrong color sweater today, so I will personally try and do better wardrobe-wise going forward. Nobody gave me the memo, but great stuff. I guess questions that we should tackle.
I didn't see any in there, so I think we're set for right now.
Okay, I'm scrolling. A lot of comments, some good insights from multiple people on the comment thread, so I appreciate that. think from here, if there are questions, if there are things that you want to take a deeper dive on from the customer side, obviously customer success is a great channel for that. And we want to try and provide as much either technical depth from our support and technical team, as well as kind of strategic depth from our customer success team. So no matter what your Cludo question is, we've got people that can help answer it, and look forward to hearing from you all. I think we can wrap it there. I think it's always fun to get together and have a conversation, especially bringing in some customers. So hopefully this was beneficial. If anyone has feedback or comments, let me know. And there's some resources there, and we'll be sharing out the recording as well on YouTube and other channels. So if you want to dig into some of these product launches, we'll be posting on YouTube, and then this content will be on YouTube soon too. So Elsa, Jess, thank you for being here. Haley behind the scenes, thank you for running the show. And thank you all for being with us. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.